This is for dinner at my restaurant.
Yes.
With Kathrine. Oh, this could be good.
I'm excited. Listen, I think the important thing about the vetting process for dating Kathrine is I need pictures and more
She
details.
can't vet you if you
I
don't
can't
send your
vet you.
profile.
Yeah,
And what
I
are the
need, like,
requirements? All right, it's Monday at 11 o'clock, and you know what that means. This is the Chazz Palminteri Show podcast. And again, we have the ladies, the beautiful ladies, the wonderful, funny Miss Tara Cannistraci.
Thank you.
We have the very talented, unbelievable, fabulous, upside down coat creator, Kathrine Narducci. And we have the wonderful, handsome, charismatic Chazz Palminteri.
It's a pleasure to be here. On my own show.
That's
In my
right.
own home.
In my own
Welcome
home.
to your own show.
Thank you, Kathrine. And guess what, people? I want to tell people before we start the show, if they want to come and see the one-man show, you go to chazzpalminteri.net. Where am I, John?
January 5th, you're going to be in Naples, Florida at the Artiste Naples Performing Arts Center.
Right.
January 7th, you're going to be at the Steinmetz Hall in Orlando, Florida. January 21st, you're going to be in Huntington, New York at the Paramount Theater. And then February 9th, you're going to be in West Palm Beach, Florida at the Kravis Performing Arts Center.
Yes, that's at West Palm Beach.
Florida
I'm going to
sounds
be in
good.
Florida a lot here in January, which is a great time to be in Florida. But come and see at chazzpalminteri.net. Don't forget, go to my merchandise. If you want get some great things for Christmas, now you can't leave, or you want to buy your wife one of the great ones. Wouldn't you be excited if your boyfriend or husband gave you
Romantic.
one of the great ones? I mean, that's a great thing to buy.
It is a great thing.
Also,
It's better than Marie getting the fucking call.
it's better than Marie getting a fucking car. You're right. You're absolutely right. Don't forget my restaurant's 30 West 46th Street, 265 Main Street. And go to the website. We got my new link for new merchandise with me and Michael Francis, the Wise and the Wise Guy. Wait till you see this merchandise. Really fantastic. All right, so all the questions, Tara. What do we got today?
We got a lot. People really loved the episode that we did where we talked about the three people that we would want to have dinner with, dead or alive. So a lot of questions came from that. One was, if you had one day left to live, how and who would you spend it with?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a tough
Tragic
Yeah, I
question.
didn't tell you guys these.
It could only be one person?
No, how and who. I don't think it has to be only one. It's how and who.
Well, I mean, me,
Could
it would be my wife and my kids,
Yeah.
I would have to say. Yeah.
And how would you spend it?
I would spend it just sitting around a table talking and about our lives, about my life, and about our lives.
Wow.
That's it. That is tragic.
Yeah, it sounds so depressing. But it's
Wow.
beautiful
Okay.
at the same time. It's beautiful and depressing. It's a beautiful,
Beautiful and
tragedy.
dark, yeah.
It's a beautiful tragedy.
So, Kitty, how?
I would spend it with my kids, but I want my whole family included. I want everybody that I love in my family there and friends. I'd spend a big feast at a big table, and I'd start it in the morning, and I'd go until I drop dead if that's my last day on earth.
All right, I have a question for you, Tara. And if this is too much, we can cut it out.
You looking at me, you go, I have a question for you, Tara.
So he said to me,
I'm Kathrine.
He said to me the other day, Kathrine, tell them where they could find you. I'm like, well,
I'm sorry. Kathrine, I have a question for you.
Yes, Chazz.
Now, you lost your dad
Yes,
when you were how old?
11.
11 years old. That's pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
And you don't hide about it, what happened.
No,
No.
no. He was murdered.
He was murdered.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a tragic thing for an 11-year-old. If you could ask your father 3 questions, and he'd come back to life right now and sit down with you, what would you ask him?
Wow. Oh my God, that just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
Well, that's what we got. We got stuff you don't hear anywhere. What would you ask your dad?
Woof.
What would be the first question, you think?
I'd say to my father, Nicky Narducci, what did you want to be in life? What did you really, really, really want to be in life? What did you want to do? Because he was, from the stories I heard, he was very good looking. I heard Stella Adler stopped him on the street and said, "You should be an actor." And my father took that really to heart. And I think he tried to put himself like in acting school or,
Really?
go to the actor's studio somehow. He was trying to do something with acting, and I guess it just didn't happen for him, his life took another course.
How old was he when he died, though? Because
He
he's
was-
still young. You were young, but he was young.
Yeah, he was young. He was 34.
Right. Did they ever get the guys who did it?
I don't even know. I don't think about that. I don't
You
even
don't
think
think-
about it. I
Yeah,
don't,
you don't think about it.
That was not his fault. That was like
Yeah.
wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong
Nothing
time.
he was doing. And then my mother, the same thing. I think I'm going off track, but my mother,
No, you would ask her.
my mother died very young. She died at 50. She had a heart attack at 49 and died at 50. And I would ask her the same thing. Like, I want to know who they were and what they were thinking about. It's funny how if you can go back, you wish that you had asked your parents. For those of
Yeah.
you that don't have your parents, like, man, I would love to have a conversation with both my mother and father.
Really?
Just know what's on their mind. Who were they? Who were they really?
Now, how about you, Tara? What would you? Now, you both.
Oh, my day.
She
Yeah,
has
my
both her
last day.
parents.
You still
I
have
have
both your
both my
parents.
parents.
And that teaches you something. Do you ever ask them questions about their lives?
It's so funny. I feel like only when it comes down to the wire. I think a lot of us take for granted the day to day or
Yeah.
the availability of having people. When my grandfather was dying, I remember it being like, let me ask him questions about his life. And when his mother passed, I had my great grandmother till I was 21. I was very lucky, and that's when I sat down. I sat down when I knew it was terminal, which you didn't. You weren't afforded that opportunity, Kathrine. Or some people aren't afforded the opportunity. People die suddenly. People die tragically. I think, so for me, I knew there was a deadline, and that's when I said, okay, I have to. Like, I didn't know my grandfather was a boxer. I didn't know my grandfather. Like, I didn't know all these things.
My
Right.
I
grandfather.
could could cry right now.
Wait,
till
my
it's too late.
grandfather
No.
was a boxer too.
Yeah.
How
And after
funny is
he
that?
told me, yeah.
So was my grandfather.
No.
No.
Yeah. So my father.
What do you know his boxing name? My grandfather's was Blackie.
No, I don't know.
No, my grandfather was Rudy Pagano. I know it was the Golden Glove. Like we actually had.
Yeah,
He won quite a few
Really?
matches. My grandfather, but a life that I didn't even know of, and I was his only grandchild.
Wow. How about you, Chazz?
My-
What would you ask your father?
My father?
Yeah, what would you ask?
Well, I was very fortunate. My father died at 90, so I used to sit and talk with him about so many things. And actually, my mother, when I knew my mother was in her 90s, my mother passed away in 97. When she was like 93,
Good genes.
she was like 93, I filmed her. I filmed her and I said, Ma, there's a lot of questions I want to ask you, but I want to put you on film. She was like, yeah, all right, I don't. So I have this whole tape of me asking my mother questions.
Oh, I love that.
Why don't you put that up? Little clips of it.
I never thought about that.
You should. That's amazing.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Do you think
yeah.
it's a generational thing too? Like where we had more interest in our parents at a certain age. Like I think you have the teens that kind of rebel. Where you're not into your parents. You think your parents.
I
are
think
old.
that's
You
every
think- That's every
generation.
generation.
You don't realize
But
it.
do
You think everybody's
as-
gonna live
right.
forever.
But then as you get older, I think is where you find the appreciation for. Wow, my mother was just a woman. Like
Yeah, that's
it's so
true.
hard. You want your mother. You want your parents to be on this pedestal, right? You want them to have these certain live up to these certain standards. And then as you get older, at least as I do, I go, my parents did the best they can with what they had.
That's true.
Right.
But I only understand that now.
That's
a woman
right.
my age, in your 20s, you're like, I wish my father could be better. Or I wish this could be happy. Whereas now I go, all right, he was young, or they were just a man and a woman.
Wait,
Like,
you just said a woman my age in your 20s.
no, a woman. No.
Throw in the shade, bitch.
No,
Throw in the shade.
Only she could do. No, meaning a woman in my 20s, I didn't appreciate that.
Oh.
In my woman in my 20s,
Yeah.
I looked at them like, why can't you be better? Why can't,
Right.
or why can't you be
Yeah.
different? Why can't you
Yeah.
be different? Is probably the biggest thing people want out of their
Right.
parents.
So I think everybody, our fans out there, should take something out of this. That so far, what we're talking about is speak to your mom and dad if they're alive now. Ask them questions. Tell them you miss them.
Yeah, that's good. Good
Tell me you
advice.
miss them. Say, I just want to tell them I love you. Thanks for everything that you did for me. Do it now. Right now. Once this episode is over, you can shut off this episode right now and call them right now. That's all right. And say, just want to tell your mom, or just want to tell your dad, thanks for everything that you did for me, and I love you. That's all. And then continue the day. It'll mean a lot to them.
Yeah,
right?
that's really good advice. I love
Listen,
that.
and if people are
Nice.
estranged or people, their parents already passed, I think just take into consideration where they came from, your parents, how they grew up, and that maybe they just did the best they
best
did
they
for you
could, yeah.
from where they came from.
I'll tell you one thing.
Forgiveness is really about you too. Like, it's freeing.
That's
to
true.
forgive your parents
That's
for
true.
certain things.
That's true.
It liberates you, I find.
Could I tell you when my father died first. When my mother died, I felt like an orphan. I said, I am nobody's kid on this earth right now. I cannot say, call ma or dad. I cannot. I'm nobody's kid. Once my mother died, I go, I'm an orphan on this earth. That's what I felt like.
Wow.
My girlfriend felt that. I think a lot of people feel that. And my girlfriend said her dad had died first and then her mom had passed. And she said when her mom passed, not only did she feel that, she's like, I'm nobody's kid. I'm an orphan. She goes, I kind of relived my father's death again because it brought up all those feelings.
Oh, my God.
Like when you link, your parents are so close. It makes you mourn your father again almost.
I'm going to throw a big
All right,
next.
Can we get to the next question? Sorry,
give me
folks.
something
Sorry to bring you
No,
down.
no, you know what? Maybe we didn't bring them down. Just to remind them to make sure.
No,
We
it's
got a
good.
good one.
It's good.
Yeah, we're lifting it up right now. What brings you joy? What brings you guys joy? That's what the question says.
Well, obviously, my wife and my children bring me joy. When I see them doing great, I have a lot of joy. That brings me joy, and obviously, my work brings me joy. When I do some work and just doing it, whether it's received well or not, I don't worry about that. I just do it. I'm glad I
too.
found a passion, and I'm glad I do it. That's it. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I think I get the most satisfaction. I like working live on stage, and I'm doing that right now at the studio. I'm like kind of, working on Medea right now. Medea at the Actor Studio. Give them a shout out.
Yes.
My church, but I get the most joy in doing that, and I wish I could do that. I'd like to do a play.
A play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But painting I love too, but live theater, live.
Live theater.
Live.
How about you, Tara?
Same. I mean, work. I think too when I see, like I did just a small show last night, and people came over and they said, "Oh my God, I forgot how important live comedy is." Or I saw people laughing. I had produced the show too, so I put my friends on the show. Gave other comics work, and I think that producing, as much as I love being on stage and making people laugh, knowing that I've like orchestrated this event that makes other people happy, like I feed off of that. Like I was feeding off the comics being happy with their sets. I was feeding off the audience members being like, oh my God, I needed this, or this was so great. Thank you for doing this, because they knew I produced it. I get more joy sometimes out of the producing part of comedy than I do even just the performing.
Now, do you ever go out there? How do you feel sometimes? I mean, look, as every comic, when you get out there, it happens to everyone. You get out there and it's just not going that great. I mean, how do you feel about that? You just got to go through it.
I was talking about it with another comic last night. It's circumstance. You have to go through it, and you also have to not. It doesn't make a difference how long you're doing this. Personality types are personality types. I will beat myself up for a show until I'm back on stage the next night to prove myself better. Like, it's like you almost only feel as good as your last set when you're a comic. It doesn't make a difference if I crushed the night before. If I have I overthink it. So
I've heard that about that.
It just doesn't make, and maybe it's good that I still care so much. That's what another comic said to me last night. He goes, I've never seen, you beat yourself up, blah, blah, blah. And so does he. But I think it's really, you have to understand. I mean, Colin Quinn had a show called Tough Crowd. There is a legit thing, just having a tough crowd, like it's not all, the responsibility is not all on the performer in comedy.
I had a 22-year-old, and I get this a lot. And I don't know if you get this. You must get DMs, people sliding in the DMs, as they call it.
Right.
Constantly, and I think it's hilarious. a 22-year-old, because he said, hi, Miss Narducci. Right there, it's already, hi, Miss Narducci. I'm 22. Would you ever think about dating a younger guy? 22?
22 years old. You would never do that.
Hell to the no. For $1 million, I wouldn't do it. I think it's flattering, and I think it's like, oh, that's so cute. But never. Even 32, I would never do.
32,
And
no.
42, I wouldn't.
Oh, Kathrine, stop it now.
No.
42?
42?
Yes, you would.
42, no way. Too young.
No.
I want somebody 50 and up.
Say he's 42 and a doctor and very wealthy.
No. 40. I want 50 and up. I like somebody who could talk about the things that I know. No, I want somebody in my own era. I don't go for this younger.
Yeah,
I'm not
somebody you can connect with.
I'm not into younger guys, period.
Here's Robert. Hey, Tara, I'm recently single. I'm DMing about Kathrine Narducci. I think we might have good chemistry. I live in Williamsburg. Not sure if you were being sarcastic about vetting people for her. No, Robert, I was not being sarcastic, but you sent me a DM, and I can't check
see
your
his picture?
profile because your profile is private.
Robert,
Guys,
we need the
you
photo.
cannot be sending me. I have another one. Let's see. And he looks like he could be of age, but now I got to do a screenshot on my phone, try and zoom in on your face. That's too much work. You're creating too much work. If you want to date Kathrine, put in the work. I'm not here to do your work for you. Okay, let's see. Hey, I listen to the Chazz Palminteri Show podcast all the time. You three are amazing. This is Frank. You three are amazing, and listening to the podcast got me into your comedy. Thank you. I'm dying laughing at how you're always trying to get a date for Kathrine Narducci. I've had a crush on her since I was a kid and watched A Bronx Tale in the 90s. I then followed her on The Sopranos, etc. I never knew she was single! ! I'm in a relationship now. Oh, what the hell? Why did I have to go this far into your thing?
He's in a relationship.
And also in my 40s. He thinks you're in your 40s.
Love you.
Frank.
That's a maybe. No, I'm
Well, what is he?
kidding.
He's ditching his girlfriend?
Wait, let's see. Take her. Oh, I'd love a platonic date with her as a once in a lifetime.
Pay me, bitch.
Take her out for a drink.
One date, you pay.
Take her out for a drink and talk about her life and just meet a star. She is a star.
You got to pay for that, buddy.
Also, if this actually makes it to your DMs and the ears of Kathrine and Chazz, I've met Chazz twice in my life and told him the second time about where I peed next to him in Joe, Pennsylvania at a restaurant bathroom in New York City in my 20s.
Is that his claim to fame? He peed next to Chazz Palminteri?
Yeah, I remember this. I remember
right
this
now.
guy. I was peeing, and he was in the next stall. And usually I go into, like, the stall. You know, I don't want to see people. And the reason why is because of this. But all the stalls were full, so I said, I got to go take a leak. So I walked over. This guy goes right next to me, looks at me, he goes, hey, Chazz Palminteri. I remember that guy. And I said, hey, how you doing? He goes, can I shake your hand? I said, not right now, you know. And but he said, this is my claim to fame. I said, wow, that's not much. But I remember that guy.
You know what's funny?
Hold
You
on,
just
we got
made me
more.
think of something. I always wondered why women get stalls. If I was a guy, I would not want anybody to see my piece of eel.
Well, that's why I go in stalls all the time. But sometimes they're full.
Or what do you call
Yeah,
it?
I mean, also as somebody who knows your face, I think I could pee. If nobody knew my face, I could pee in front of anybody. But I think if
You want to see me and you gonna go in a bathroom?
If I had to go, I gotta
No,
go.
but
When
that's
you gotta
why
go, you
I-
gotta
I don't
go.
wanna
But
see
I don't know
anybody's
if
ass.
Anybody, like, you're a known person. I don't know if I'd wanna. People stop you all the time.
I know, but
don't
that's
know
why
if I'd want to
yeah.
whip it out. If everybody knew who I was, I think it's not. Yeah,
I whip it out when I'm in the store. But I had to go bad.
I get it.
And I couldn't wait.
Hold on,
I
Leo said, is
understand that.
Kathrine free for a date? Leo, you look cute, Leo, but again, your profile is private. And I gotta be honest, I can't properly
If
vet
it
you.
was DiCaprio, yes.
Right.
I
Well,
love
well,
Leo.
Leo's a great
This
guy.
one is not DiCaprio, but he's cute.
No,
All
I'm
right.
joking.
So guys, listen, I think the important thing about the vetting process for dating Kathrine is I need pictures and more
She
detail.
can't vet you if you
I
don't
can't
send your
vet you.
profile.
Yeah,
what
I
are the
need
requirements?
information.
Funny?
Let's do that. Let's do the requirements.
Gotta have
'cause
some
age,
scuttle
no,
and beans.
Give age reference.
Gotta have
Because
some
I'm getting
scuttle
young
and beans.
and I'm getting old. I'm not getting the age that you want. These guys look
All right,
young,
guys.
and I got some guy
How
who
about
was,
this? You have to have some scuttle and beans.
We
That
know
means
something.
That means that
You don't have to be rich.
No.
No.
But she's not taking on somebody to pay
She's
his bills.
definitely not
We're not going to
materialistic.
McDonald's for dinner.
She's not materialistic. That I'll give her.
And then you have to have a little bit of a sense of humor.
It's gotta be
Yes.
funny a little bit.
A lot bit. You got to
Hey.
be creative.
Okay, give specifics. Everybody thinks there's something. Somebody can go, oh, I doodled and now I'm creative. Give specifics. What's the age range? I need an age range. I'm getting young and old. I need the middle range. Come on, let's go.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We gotta see. Maybe we could put whoever ends up being vetted and you like them. We gotta film the date. Maybe
I'd say we film
Oh,
the date.
shit.
We
Sure.
film the date. I'm about this
we
life.
film the date, or we bring them on the show. But whoever it is,
You got to DM me.
you got to DM. You got to DM.
And guess where the date's going to be? At Chazz Palminteri's in New York City.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Chazz Palminteri's restaurant in New York City on 46th.
But you don't get
46th
it on
Street.
the house.
No.
Just because we're filming you.
Listen.
You don't get it on the house. It's not like that.
If you're DMing and I cannot see your profile and it's private, send me a picture of you with these details. Not if you have if you're funny. I'll be that'll be me to determine that factor. What are the details? What are their age range?
50 and up.
No, don't say 50 and up.
no. 50 to 60.
50 to 60. You only got a decade wiggle room. If you're 49, I might let you in. If you're 61, 62 and you're cute, I'm letting you in.
Okay.
And you're fit. That's it.
Okay. Scottle and beans.
Yeah, we said that. So be established. Good. I'm translating Kathrine.
Sense of humor.
Sense of humor. Okay.
Funny.
I'll be.
And interesting.
God, everybody thinks that they're interesting. Cat people are on their phones all day doing selfies like anybody cares. All right, come and live where on the East Coast? Yeah, location.
Well, it's only
That
one
would help.
date. It's only one date.
It's only one date.
Only one date. All right. DM pictures and your age and what you do for a living to @TaraJokes. And
There you
I will
go.
be reading these. So okay.
And then this is the way it's going to look. Me and you, Chazz and Tara. Chazz is going to be sitting fully loaded. And you make one wrong move and it's ping.
This is for dinner at my restaurant.
Yes.
With Kathrine. Oh, this could be good.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
Right. And we might even film it. Maybe. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
I say we have a blind date test where it's like a game show and we put Kathrine on the left, the date in the right, and we'll put a divider in the middle and have them ask each other questions.
Three guys. If I can get 3 guys, we'll vet all 3 and then she picks one out of that for the date.
Oh, I love it.
That's
Like the old, what was that
hysterical.
old dating show back
The
in the
dating
day?
show.
The
The
dating-
dating game. The newlywed game.
No, the dating game.
The dating
The
game.
dating game.
All right, this is it. The Chazz Palminteri Show.
The dating game.
New segment.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Catch Kitty. Catch Kitty if you can. That's what it's called.
Catch Kitty.
Oh, I
if you
like
can.
that.
What's next? What do we got next?
I have one more that I
Good.
read in the
Good.
comments.
Rip it.
So this one, I'm going to read it and try to make it brief. It says, love neighborhood logic with the ladies. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. I'm a 30-year-old married woman who willingly left my secure corporate job with benefits and decent pay. I feel like I have lost myself these past few years working there and having trouble finding myself. I am both excited and afraid for what lies ahead. How did you guys find yourselves, and what advice would you give someone like me, especially in the current state of this country?
She said she was married.
And she left the job already?
It just says she left her secure job,
Corporate job.
corporate.
She's married?
That's what it says.
So she has somebody to at least fall back on a little bit until she finds the
She has
next
a partner. A partner.
Well, the advice I would give her is she left it, okay, now try different things. If she knows exactly what she wants, then go for it 110%. If she doesn't know what she wants, try things that she always... She had to look at herself and say, what would I do for free? And if she could think about what she really wants to do for free, that's when your vacation becomes your vocation. That's what I would say to her. Really try, think about what you would do for free and can I make money with this? And go for it.
Wow.
Don't do comedy.
Well,
Don't do comedy?
I mean, it takes a while.
I mean, they say
no.
comics, it takes 5-10 years.
Yeah, 10 for me.
10 years usually.
I don't know all I would say to her was, you did the biggest thing, quit.
The hardest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing.
That's the hardest thing. The biggest step to take is leave the job.
Right. So after that, all bets are off. You did the hardest thing.
Yeah.
So now just go for it, whatever you want. See what, but you don't know until you try. You got to try it.
Yeah. No, absolutely, 100,000%.
Just put one foot in front of the other. Go forward. The only thing that's worse than going forward is if you stop, because then you get run over. Just keep going forward. That's it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like a lot of people feel that way right now.
Right.
So many people living on that hamster wheel, like you just going through it. She must have taken a look back, and she did it young, so I give her a lot of credit. Because people at 30 in a corporate job are like, I'm gonna get more, I'm gonna get more. She realized early on she wasn't she didn't want to take that path in life.
Yeah, a lot of my friends are like that too, where they're leaving their corporate jobs, but they have no idea what they want to do just because they've been there so long.
Right. A lot of people realize now there is no security in life. No matter what you do, there
Do you
is no
think because of
security.
the pandemic?
Yeah, I think it was a big.
I think the
part of it.
pandemic shook a lot of people up.
It shook the whole world up.
It shook the whole world up, yeah. It shook everybody up. Shook me up, shook everybody
People
up.
realize they didn't have to be in an office 5 days a week. I think that's the biggest thing with the pandemic, because people went remote or people went hybrid. And then
Yeah.
people realized, hey, I don't have to get up at the crack of dawn every morning 5 days a week and come home when the sun's down, because I can work from home, or I can, that is the one good thing I'd say that happened for people in that world, is that they realized.
Right, and I think that people should learn from it. I mean, I remember I had my Broadway show was on the road. My one-man show obviously was on the road. My 2 restaurants, White Plains, and my TV series was going, and all of it shut down when COVID hit. Now think about all those revenue streams shut down, nothing. You want to talk about a horror show?
Yeah.
Thank God, I was okay, because over the years I saved money. But that shakes you up, man. And that tells you there is no guarantee. So I would if I were you, I'd get out there and I'd do what you want, and just put your money away. That's important.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I think we had some great stuff here
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
Me
this
too.
was
And what I
nice,
really
guys.
like, I'm very interested to see these DMs, Tara jokes, because Kathrine, we're pimping you out. Katherine's gonna have a date, and we're gonna go to my restaurant, and we're gonna vet her.
Yeah.
We'll vet her.
Yeah.
If you really want to date with her, but no bullshit. Don't.
And if you're listening to this and you're not somebody who somebody, or you want to recommend somebody,
Right.
make sure send them this episode.
Right.
Let them see the podcast, and let them DM me.
Right.
Send this out. This just doesn't have to be for you. Think about it. We all want to look. I'm trying to hook up my friend. I have a few other friends I'd like to hook up too. If you have a friend that you would like to see on
Right.
a date with Kathrine, let us know.
And remember, this is just a date.
Yeah.
Nowhere else. You're gonna go to dinner, restaurant, then we say goodbye, and then between you two, if you want to see each other again, that's your
That's
business.
your business.
But right now, this is just a date. That's all it is. All right. God bless you all. We'll see you next week. Chazz Palminteri Show. Tara, how could they get in contact with you?
Obviously, now we've said enough. Tara Jokes, TaraJokes.com. All my social media is at Tara Jokes. My YouTube channel is at Tara Jokes.
Well, you going to be anywhere, or should they just go to Jokes?
Come see me. I'm going to be in the month of December, Connecticut, Jersey. New Year's Eve, if you want to celebrate with me, I'd love that. I'm going to be at the American Hotel in Freehold. The 2 nights before that, I'll be in Jersey again in Point Pleasant and Uncle Vinny's. I'd love to see you guys at any of those shows.
Kathrine, your movie just got a due date, right?
Yeah, well, it's not until next year, but
Oh, it's next year that's coming out.
yeah, November next year.
The one you do with Mr. De Niro.
Yes.
And me, you can come and see me at the Chazz Palminteri podcast. Also, go to chazzpalminteri.net. You have my dates. Go to my website. Get some great gifts for Christmas for your wife. One of the great ones, Now You Can't Leave. Photos. Also, go to The Wise and the Wise Guy, me and Michael Francis. Go to that website. Some great things for Christmas.
God bless you all. I'll see you next week.